Well played, Lightroom. Well played. You guys may know if you've been here a while that I have kept my catalog in Lightroom for many years, ever since Aperture went away. We won't get into that story, but the Lightroom has been kind of my hub. But I've talked over the last year about leaving Lightroom, and one of the reasons has been that I haven't felt like they've been doing a lot of innovation. And, they've continued to adapt the product, add some things to it and that sort of thing. And I'll admit, I'm not a Lightroom expert. I don't spend a lot of time in it. As you know, I spend time making videos and dealing and delving into these other products that I more frequently talk about. But they just came out with this like AI masking kind of thing. And I got to say, I'm impressed. I mean, they did a really good job. I've been just running through sample photos just to see how well the mask will pick up subjects and skies and things like that. And I got to say, it's pretty deadly accurate most of the time. It's pretty amazing. I thought I'd show some examples. Here's just a quick shot. And by the way, when you do this, you'll upgrade your catalog, but it makes a copy. So you end up like, I think like with 2 catalogs. I've had no issues with it, just to be clear, but just be aware it will prompt you to do that before you install the new update if you haven't done that. But if you come over here, you can see that you've got these options to select subject and select sky. And so your brush, your linear, and your radial are still there, as well as these other mask types. And again, I don't really get into this stuff that much because I spend my time in these other apps, but I gotta say, this select subject, that's deadly accurate. I mean, that looks fantastic. Like maybe over here on the edge of that hair it's missing, but honestly, that's really good. I just walking through so many examples and finding all these photos that are just working really well regardless of what kind of photo it is or even what the subject is. So like look at this one, for example, just some corks. I mean, it nailed it, literally nailed it. So I'm pretty excited about this because it gives you so many more tools and so many things that you can do when you have that kind of masking control over your images. Here's a dark one. I used this in a recent video, but this is a fairly dark photo, but what's the subject there? Well, there it is. It got most of that old barber chair. You know, you got a little bit there and a little bit there. You can go adjust. And by the way, you've got an add and a subtract. So you can go in and adjust accordingly if you need to. On a cityscape that I shoot a whole lot of, there are countless times that I want to adjust that. I just want to say, I want to take the main subject, hello, select subject, and I just want to go in and make adjustments to that specifically. Boom, there I go. Quick, easy, painless, automatic. And that, of course, is the best part. And so let me show you the select sky. So I've been showing you select subject. So if I click select subject, let's see what it grabs here. Okay, it grabs that, but I think I would actually rather, in this case, this is actually a really good example. I would like to edit the sky one way and edit everything else another way. So I'm gonna go ahead and just remove this mask, delete mask 1, and start over. So I'm gonna come in and start by selecting the sky, and one click, and it found the sky. I mean, that's a really good job. Now that allows me to come in here and I can hide the overlay, but I can come in, I've got that sky selected. Maybe I wanna cool it off a little bit. Maybe I wanna darken it a little bit. Maybe I wanna, maybe I wanna give it some saturation. I definitely wanna give it some saturation. You know, I don't really have a huge plan on this photo. Actually, you know, I think I go warmer instead of cooler. Do a little bit of that and maybe a little bit of tint as well. Anyway, I've got that in place and I like it. And so now what I'd like to do is, you saw that it, for select subject, it grabbed the Vatican itself and part of the building on the right, but I actually want to get everything that's man-made. And in other words, I want to get everything except the sky. So a way to do that is you come over here and just say create new mask, select sky. Now it's going to recalculate, find the sky again, but then I can come in here and just click on that and say invert, and boom, there I go. Now I've got that section isolated, and I can just turn off overlay if I want, and I can just go ahead and do whatever it is I might want to do. And I don't really have a plan for this photo, although I definitely want to add some clarity and maybe brighten the shadows a little bit, maybe something like that. I also need to straighten the photo and fix the verticals, and that's not the point. The point is really that I was able to quickly and easily isolate the sky and the foreground and then mask accordingly. And again, you can go back into either one of these and edit as as you may see fit. So if you want to add or subtract from the sky or from the foreground, you can do that by going into each individual mask, and you can see the mask view here. And as you hover over them, you can see that it shows there as well. But anyway, I'm just kind of floored. I'm blown away, and I'm kind of excited, to be honest. And again, I don't really make Lightroom tutorials. It's a good product. I've never really had issues with the fact that it's not a good product. I just never felt like they were doing a lot of innovating. I always felt like there were better things I could do in other apps, which is why I like those other apps. And obviously, I continue to love those other apps. But in this case, I just was blown away and how good and how accurate and frankly, how quick this AI masking is in Lightroom. This is version 11 that just came out. You've probably already heard about it and got it and been playing with it. I just kind of been playing around for a little while and I'm just, honestly, I'm floored. So well played. Great job, Adobe. You guys just absolutely crushed it with this, and you've got a fan in me again. I'm excited. I think this gives us so much great control over our images that I'm excited to continue using it. Anyway, that's it. If you haven't got the update, go get it. It's pretty awesome. And thanks for watching, my friends. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and until then, adios.